Hi, welcome back to Grow New Plants. So today I'm going to up-pot the Shumard Red Oaks I planted. And these were planted on 4/8/24, today's 6/10, 6/11 I think. So they've been here for right at 2 months. I'm ready to, I wanted to make sure they filled out the pots good and everything, but they're getting to the point where you can see some of the leaves are kind of getting, not looking so good on them. And it's just, the root systems have gotten so big in these pots that they're just time to be planted. And then I got 2 trees in here that died. I say that died, that one still got green on it, but this one here was in my plant table. The way the boards were, this one wasn't getting water, and by the time I noticed it, it was too late. So this one ended up dying pretty young. It still had put out a decent amount of roots, but it just got underwatered. So anyway, so that one's a goner. This one here, it actually, the leaves have fallen off, but the stem is still green, so it's probably okay. And then out of all of these, I had one. I got one right here that never germinated. And it never did anything. So out of these 24, I think is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, out of 24, I had only one of these didn't germinate. So that's pretty good. So I'm gonna get reset up and we'll take a look, see what the root systems look like on them, and we'll get them repotted. I'm just gonna repot up 4 or 5 of them, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. Okay, so let's just pull one out. We'll just take this one right here to start with. So the root system is completely held together, and they're kind of brown, so they're hard to see real close. I'll see if I can get that a little bit close to the camera where you can get a look at what that looks like. So one of the things I'm going to do, and I don't know, I've tried researching this, but I'm going to remove the nut. And the reason for that is that I have had trees this size that I've sat and watched a squirrel yank this thing out of the ground with his teeth and then pull the nut out and leave the tree just laying on the ground. So I don't want him to do that anymore, because these are coming outside of the table that's squirrel protected now. So I'm going to get a little bit of dirt here. And these are going in my regular propagation mix, or I'm sorry, my regular up pot mix, which is 75% hardwood bark mulch and then 25% peat moss. So this is one where the leaves are kind of browned up a little bit, where, like I said, they just couldn't hold enough water. So I'm planting these things back at the same depth. And we'll take one of the nicer looking ones next. That's not, this one's got the tip of it, it's kind of burnt a little bit. But again, you see the size of the root. So this is a real good example right here, where this is the taproot that grew down, and when it hit the bottom of that pot, where it hits the air, it just cut the tip of that tip of that root off, and then it starts branching out. And you can see right here all these little bitty roots. That's what you want. That's what really makes these things healthy. So we're going to see if we can find the nut on this one. Just snipping that nut off. And like I said, I tried doing some research on removing the nuts off of these things. If at some point, I know they rely on them early on, but I don't know how long they physically need the root system or need the nut attached to the plant. So hopefully it's not going to make any difference. I don't think it is. I feel pretty confident they're going to be okay doing it this way. So we'll go ahead and plant 2 more of them up, and then I'll plant the rest of them off camera. Okay, so we got, let's take find one of the bigger ones. That one's pretty big right there. So all these root systems look about the same. They've completely filled these containers up, and you see all the little bitty fine roots. So once these things get down, and there's the taproot right there, you can see with the taproot, the end of it killed the air killed the taproot, excuse me, and then you can see all those little bitty roots branching off of that. That's what these Rootmaker pots do. So we'll find the nut. snip that nut off. Throw these out for the squirrels, they can have them now. So put that back about the same depth. And I'm just taking these and I'm packing them in there firm enough to keep the tree upright, but I'm not really like crushing it down really tight. You want your soil to be able to aerate. You want it to drain well and have some air down in it, so that's basically all we're looking for here. Let me get a little bit extra soil for this last one. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with these. My germination rate was great. And all of them look pretty much the same. Nice little root systems going throughout. I don't know if you can really see the taproot on this one. Sometimes the taproot's hidden inside. So we're gonna go in there and we're gonna find the nut. Cut that root off. So I'm hoping these things, I think getting these things up potted now, being it's just early in June, I'm hoping that these things will be big enough by fall that I can go ahead and move them up into the 3-gallon Rootmaker pots. And I'm using Rootmaker all the way. I'll use Rootmaker pots all the way up to these things get to where I'm going to sell them. Once I get to the point of selling them, then I'll move them into a regular standard pot. But other than that, they'll keep staying in the Rootmaker pots because they just grow faster. I'm a firm believer in these things. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll repot the rest of them up off camera. And then I'll make the thumbnail of this video. We'll show a picture of all of the trees put together. So I appreciate you watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share my videos. Thank you.